Okay, so good day everyone. I am Christy Monteo. I will be sharing to you on how to set up the role web server or making a web server here on Windows 2008 or Windows Server 2008. So in our first or previous video, we shared to you all about the on how to install and to set up the Windows Server 2008 here in VMware Workstation. So in order for me to set this up, what we're going to do is that first we are going to click here, the Server Manager. Okay, so continue. Okay, so we need to continue for that one. And here we have the Windows Server or the Server Manager. And here we're going to set up the web server. So in order for us to set that up, we're going to check the roles. So as you can see, there are 0 of 16 installed. So what we're going to do here is that we are going to add roles. And then before we assign, we just read through this and then next. And then now we're gonna be finding out on what certain role are we going to give. So in this case, we are going to install the web server. So we're gonna check that out. So add required features. So web server is already checked. Now we're gonna click on next and then next. And then here, we are going to check the role services. In this case, what we're going to do is that we are going to check everything for this so that we are gonna be ready on the web server end of this one. So we're gonna check that. Okay, add required features. So let's just check everything here. Checking all this, and then okay, and then we just check everything here. So we should not be missing a lot of things here. All we have to do is just to check everything here. So as you can see, everything here on the list are all checked. So let's just click next. And then after that, we just need to install this setting for us to have a web server. Okay, so let's just wait for this one. Alright, so as you can see, the installation has been succeeded. So let's just close this one. So what we're going to do is that we are going to drop down this and then here. Okay. Okay. Alright, so based on what you have seen, so we already have installed all the services in here. So we're going to be finding out this one. Now, what we're going to do is that we are going to drop down this and then we open the sites and then there here we have the default website. So what we're going to do is that we are going to delete this default website shared. Okay, that one. And then we are going to add our own website. So in this case, we're going to be naming this one as Laravel. And then the physical path would be here, drop down in the tab. And then in the www root, we're going to have this one as a folder for our web server. Now we are going to have so HTTP. The IP address assigned is this one and the port is just this. So in this host name, if we already have purchased a host name that has like www.contoso.com, for example, then we're gonna write that down here. But since in our case, we haven't purchased any of it, so let's just leave it as a blank and then we'll click OK for that setting. And now we already have our site here. So in order for us to open our site, we'll just need to click on Browse. So we wait for this one and then we're gonna see the site or the default website that is being given into this one. So let's try to see on what is inside this certain website. Okay, all right, so let's just have this one turn on. Okay, so this is the default one here. Now, in order for us to make a website for this one, we'll just have to create here a folder, and then let's just name it with web. And then inside the folder, we're gonna be creating a notepad or a text document. Okay, so this is our index.html. What we're going to do is that we are going to copy this one, and then we are going to go here on start, computer, and then local disk C and netpub, and our www root. So why in www root? It is because we set this one as where the source file or the path of all our files for it where the web server will get all the files that we have in order for us to view on our web. So let's try to paste this one here. Okay, so continue. Okay, so now we already have this one, our index.html. So we're just going to restart this, our website, or stop this, and then we're gonna start this again. Now, since the last time it gives us a default view of the website, so this time we're gonna see here the one that we have encoded from the text document, and then we're gonna be browsing it here on this website here. So let's try to browse if we're gonna see here the index that we edited on the text document. Okay, so this is our sample web page. So this is the title, and this is our sample heading that we put in our document. So that is how we set up the web server and how we make an HTML file and then put it in our web server for this here. So that was it for our setup. So additionally, we can actually show you okay, we can actually show you that the things that if it is being hosted here on our web server, it can be accessed on the same computer. Okay, it can also be accessed on the same computer that we have in here. So let's say for example, okay, so as we can see here, okay, look at here on our video. As we can see, we have here this site 192.168.190.129. So we're going to be using that IP address for us to view here on this one. Okay, let's try to view that one here. Okay, so I am here, and then we are going to view it here. Okay, that's 192.168.190.169. No, it's 129. Okay, so based on that IP address, we were able to access that one if it has been hosted in our web server. So that is how web server works in here. So I think that was all it for this here. So we have learned a lot of activities, and we have learned on how to set things up for our activities. So yeah, so this is how we set up the web server in our VMware and how we can access this web server that has been hosted in the VMware in the browser that we have on our the devices. So yes, if it's just the same this device, we can access it, but we are not yet on that part where we can access it with another device. So I think that was it for our video. So yes, have a good day, everyone.